Hydrofoiling. How on earth does this even work? For a long time, I've been fascinated by foiling and how it works and what it feels like. More specifically, prone foiling, surfing waves and trying to link up one wave with another wave, which is essentially the pinnacle of prone foiling. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to be learning the ins and outs of foiling.
Okay, so after the e-foil challenge, it felt like the next step was to take it to prone foils. So we're here with James Casey, who's going to coach us through the next week or so of learning how to foil. We've got like this little setup, I think for day one, which you were explaining, which has got a little bit of a propeller.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like halfway between e-foiling and prone foiling, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we're going to take this out and then get a feel for jumping up onto a foil and having the power cut out. And then from there, we'll just progress over the next few sessions and hopefully be shredding by the final day.
Yeah.
One other thought or concern I had is sometimes we fell off the e-foil and it's pretty, like, feels pretty sketchy when you fall off. And these look super sharp. So is that something we have to be conscious of, like coming off and just being really aware of not hitting the foil?
We really want to avoid those. As soon as you feel like something's not right and you're about to fall one way,
you sort of
just
go with it.
Yeah. Don't try to recorrect, because the recorrections are that's the problem.
That's when you can buckle and fall back onto the foil.
Big time.
Fingers crossed we get some good weather, good surf, and see how we go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So we made our way along the beach and paddled out for our first hydrofoiling session. The mission was to simply test our current prone foiling ability to gauge how much progress was needed to get the double dip that we're searching for.
I'm struggling to paddle onto the waves. And then James, our coach, is out here just making it look so easy.
We both started the session with plenty of falls, but eventually managing to make a few waves. And the first thing I noticed was how different these foils felt to riding a surfboard. And although they felt similar to the e-foils that we had been on last week, they definitely felt more wobbly and hard to control. So much fun. Once you get up, it's like such an addictive feeling.
That's it. You guys are awesome. Like, the main thing that I saw was your instincts were good. You were staying on your stomach until you felt stable. And then when you're jumping up on the board, you let the board and the foil do the work rather than trying to muscle it too much. And that's why we start with smaller foils. Too big a foil and you're going to get too much lift.
I felt that for sure. That was really, it was good to be able to paddle onto a wave, as you said, and then get up as if I'm surfing and not have it like just so much lift like throwing me up in the air.
Yeah, so I talked about the three zones: green, orange, red.
Yeah.
Green's top third, orange middle third, red bottom third. And orange and red is where you guys are mainly today, but a couple times on your better ones you tapped into that green zone.
Gotcha.
That gave you the speed.
And that's what gives you the speed. If you're in the red zone, you're too far ahead of the wave and you slow down.
Cool. The double dip is very, very possible.
You reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
Later that day, we hopped on a Zoom call with James Casey, who ran us through a quick breakdown of our day one testing.
So what we can improve upon is, see how the eyes are looking straight down towards like the nose of the board and in front? Like, that's fine for the takeoff, but once we have our takeoff, we want to shift our eyes to look at the top third of the wave. So we get more speed and we go down the line. Where we look, we go, and if you're looking forwards, you're always going to end up in front of the wave rather than on the wave. The other thing is we can see our feet positioning, and while you're well balanced, basically I think your feet are a little bit wide. And generally speaking, so basically what this means is if you lean back just a tiny little bit, the fall is going to shoot up into the sky. If our feet are closer together, then the movement, a little movement, it's not going to make as big a change.
Do you mind, James, showing us that ideal stance again?
Surfing straight towards you guys, so a lot of times surfers will be like this, yeah?
Yeah.
They're like toes are facing straight this way. What I try and do is I actually shift my front foot, but so instead of being like this, but my hips are straight towards the camera. I'm going forward towards you guys. If we think about when we turn, up with the eyes, head follows, shoulders follow, hip follow, board follows. I could be looking over here, turning this way, and that's when you get the folding taco. Yeah, so this is great. Great to see the takeoff. Paddling in, you're right on the edge of the wave. So in terms of positioning, you're spot on. You can see we've got our white water here.
Yeah.
You're right on the corner of where this, nice green wall is on the other side.
Yeah.
That's spot on positioning. You're controlling the board, so you're pushing down with your arms, which is perfect.
Yep.
Jumping up, still have your arms on the board, which is going to prevent the foil from lifting up. Really nice. Like, look at that high line you're taking. That's creating a lot of speed for you.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
That seemed like valuable coaching with James, who actually runs a full online course, the Coach Casey Club, where he does weekly coaching calls and video breakdowns. So if you're interested, I'll chuck a link in the description so you can have a look. And if you want to check out the best up-to-date foiling equipment, head over to WSS Boards in Manly. Session 2.
Yep.
We had a Zoom session working on our technique with Casey yesterday. Yeah, like there was a whole bunch of tips and tricks that we sort of can work on. So this is what today's about. I'm conscious that this is relatively like quite a short challenge for me. Normally I do like 30-day challenges, and this is only pretty much we've got a week of training with Casey. And also like we've had a bit of foiling experience, so we probably wouldn't have like those like beginner gains that you might get if you were like just starting out. So I'm really hoping I can like drill some technique tweaks and I guess see like a clear progression from day one. So in session 2, we attempted to practice the techniques that Casey had taught us in preparation for the next week of training by ourselves. Funny how like you hear all the techniques and the tips and stuff, and you know all the theory, and then putting it in practice always like, I don't know, I always struggle with it for some reason. It's like as soon as I'm on the wave, everything just goes out of my head, and I'm just in the heat at the moment, like trying to hang on and trying to survive on the wave. Definitely need to work on being a bit more in control, but super fun. I almost got one linked wave, managed to pump for a little bit, but yeah, I'm just keen to keep practicing. So over the next few days, we continue to practice with the aim of achieving that double dip by the final day.
It's tough conditions out here, and I'm struggling to ride the wave properly.
I tried to focus on the 4 main technique tips that James had taught us: direction of focus, body positioning, turning, and trying to read the wave.
It's just difficult. It's really hard to progress in surfing, and let alone I feel like foiling is the same. It's hard to get waves, and when you do get waves, more often than not I'm just falling off, or like I stand up and I'm hanging on for dear life. I can't think about turning or controlling the wave or pumping out. I'm just trying to stay on the board and not get thrown off it. Pretty much hour. Even that wave, I was like, wasn't in control. I just stood up, racing down the wave, and then fell off.
It's another day of not amazing surf, unfortunately. Got to get that practice in, so I'm going to go out anyway. So after 4 days of rather shitty surf and frustrating moments, I finally managed to get my first decent wave. After that, I got a few longer waves and even managed to pull off the back of a couple and practice pumping. And on day 6, I had even more progress, catching even longer rides, even pulling off and attempting to pump along and connect to the next wave.
Finally, I think I'm getting the hang of the pump. Almost getting onto the second wave. Makes me think that maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible that tomorrow I get that double wave.
So go for the first one of the set sort of thing that
Yeah,
comes.
yeah, absolutely.
And then once you've pumped around, hopefully there's some small little
And
ripple.
thinking about if the waves are breaking in towards me, don't feel like you've got to go in and then come straight back out. And also if you pump across left or right, you give yourself more of an opportunity for more of a wave to come.
Alrighty,
Yeah, let's
get
do
out
it.
there, see what happens.
Yeah.
We made it to the final day, where I was feeling anxious but also very excited. After coming relatively close to the double dip on the past couple of training sessions, I was feeling very hopeful that I could put it all together on this final day and successfully achieve the double dip. We had many attempts, some closer than others, with James correcting our technique and giving us tips after each wave. And then finally, after sitting out there for about an hour,
this happened.
Oh, well done, mate. That was awesome.
Stoked, finally!
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. I'm stoked. We've been training hard the past week. Me and Joe have been going out pretty much every day, trying to catch waves at Mona Vale. So it's tricky, but it's fun. Once you get it, it's really fun.
Finished. Another awesome challenge. It was a tricky and frustrating challenge at times, but also really fun. And I'm stoked that I managed to just about get that double dip wave on the final day. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit about hydrofoiling and what it feels like. And thanks to James Casey for the awesome coaching. And on that note, I'll see you in the next challenge.